Right, good morning, welcome back, Project Goldwing. Now, in the last video, following on from that, I tried to clean up the swinging arm with a flat disc and a wire wheel, and it was going absolutely nowhere. So we sent it out to the powder coaters to be shot blasted, and we just got it back. Take a look at this. There's no way on earth I could have got it this stripped and this clean with a flat disc and a wire wheel. Look at it, every single little tiny orifice is totally spotlessly clean. And over the back here, I had a huge concern. If we look here, that hole there looked like it was a rust hole in the swinging arm, but it turns out it's actually a little drain hole. Any water getting in here drains out there, so that's also given me some confidence that not only is this in fine condition, but also the rust that was on it wasn't related to any of the welded areas. The rust was purely on the outside of some of the reinforcing steel. The welding itself, looking everywhere, is absolutely perfect. Now, one thing I noticed immediately though is brown marks appearing on it overnight. Literally, I only got this back yesterday, and if I spin it over, you take a look on the back here, which is obviously rusting already. So it just goes to show when it's stripped this clean and bare, it's prone to rust immediately, literally overnight. So the first job today, I'm going to oil it up to protect it from any further rust. Obviously that's not enough to stop rust long term, but it will stop it rusting in the air while it just sits here. Right, now the plan for this, to make it a monoshock swing arm, is to weld two little tabs underneath there to produce a perch for the short link assembly. And obviously I've got to brace that by welding a plate over it, because that, albeit 3mm, it's not strong enough to take the weight of the bike on, so that's got to be braced up before I can do that. And obviously before I go welding plates over that and over the top side as well, there is some debris in there, and I'll show you where that came from. Well, now this box section here is completely enclosed. There's no way to empty that debris out, and where it comes from is the rivets from this. This is a rubber backed resonator pad. There's one top, one bottom, and I had to drill out the rivets to get them off. And obviously the debris, the other half of the rivet on all 10 of them, has fallen inside. And that's what's rolling around. So the first task before I go any further is to drill one of these holes out big enough and try and empty them all out. Right, any of them will do. Right, I don't want to drill a hole in that any bigger than I have to, and see if they'll come out of that hole. 5, they're coming. 6, 7, that's it. Now there was one that didn't come out, so we'll just punch that one out of the way and see if that will come out the hole. That one there. Yay, there we are. There, that's all of them, I think. 7, 8, 9, 10, that's it, yep. Now it's a swinging arm again, and not a Maracas. Check out the thickness of the steel there as well, that this is made from. It's at least 3mm thick, maybe even 4. Now with all the welding I've got planned for this swinging arm, I'm going to need to bolt it firmly into a solid jig to stop it twisting and warping with heat. Now obviously I haven't got a jig for a swinging arm for a Goldwing. They're not something you can buy off the shelf, so I've got to make one. And that is the task today, to make a jig for the swinging arm so I can do the welding on it. Now this is the sort of thing I've got to make today. This was a jig for the Sportster engine. You just bolted it front and rear on the engine mount points, and it sat there with my engine on display. Fantastic. Nice and strong and rigid. 7 pieces of box section steel, all welded together with some big fat bits of plate to actually bolt the engine down to. And I'll do something similar to this today for the swinging arm. So let's get some raw material, which I've got myself, and a tape measure, start measuring and start making. That's all the pieces cut for the basic loop. I had to cut 2 of them again because I realised that the metal I bought wasn't all the same. Right, cut these 2 first, then cut these 2 pieces, and as you can see immediately, the wall thickness on these is thinner than this piece. So I cut another pair, and now they're all the same thickness, and the frame won't have a weak spot. And these 2, I can just use them as bracing elsewhere in the frame. Nothing goes to waste. Right, let's get these prepped and tack them together. Right, okay, now at this point, I'm at the end of my day. Now, as you know, as we've already said many times, you're joining us on this project step by step, blow by blow along the way. Everything that we endure, you're seeing it. This is not edited highlights like the other videos you see where everything's done in half an hour. This has taken a long time. And by that, I mean 5 hours. It's been a long day to get to this point, purely because everything has to be measured 5 times, cut once, and on a couple of occasions I've cut things wrong and I've had to cut them again. But finally I've got to this stage. It's critical that this jig is not only dead straight and square and plumb and true, but also rock strong so it doesn't move when I try to weld the swinging arm and it tries to twist. I want this to hold it still. That's its job. Anyway, let's show you the vision so far. A perfect rectangle base frame, correct in both diagonals, solid and true. And then 6 uprights, which will be welded in these positions with plates across the top. Then mount the swing arm on top of the uprights. And then as you've got upright plates on top of these, I can G-clamp down there and on this side and clamp the whole swinging arm down onto the frame. So in the next video, I'm going to take this 6mm plate, slice it into 3 pieces, weld it on the top of these, and then weld these to the base frame, and then weld in some cross supports to stop the whole lot twisting when it tries to. So as you can see, this has taken almost the whole working day, especially when you're filming it. It always takes longer, and I've only got to this point, and this is about halfway. So off camera, I've got to do a lot more measuring and a lot more prep, and I don't want to bore you with that, so I'll get myself ready, and in the next video, hopefully, we'll get this jig finished, and then we can clamp the swing arm on it and start measuring up to actually do the surgery. I'll see you next time.